Let's get into the advisory now, and how much do you actually need to retire, and how can you turn your super into sustainable income? All important questions. Let's ask Justine Marquet from Allianz Retire Plus, who joins me now. I mean, I guess this depends on what kind of life you've lived, what your outgoings are, but what is a comfortable retirement?
Well, according to ASFA, a comfortable retirement allows you one overseas trip every 7 or so years, one domestic trip annually to visit family, the opportunity to maintain and occasionally upgrade your clothes, to maintain a reasonable car but not necessarily upgrade it. So it's actually more conservative, I think, than a lot of people realise when ASFA quote what they think is a comfortable versus modest retirement.
Yeah, and I guess it's very different to what people think. They're going to retire, they're going to travel a lot. So how do different retirement income streams play into this, and what can people be doing? So generally speaking, layering up different kinds of income streams will allow you to achieve more income in retirement. So for a comfortable retirement, ASFA says a couple will need around $730,000, or a single person $630,000 if they're age 67 today. So that would require around that would produce around $77,000 income for a couple, for example, just for that, their comfortable version of retirement. This is assuming you've paid off your home too, I
And
assume.
that's assuming you've paid off your home, yes. They have released another standard for people who are renting, which is significantly higher than sort of the modest requirement for people who own their home. So it's important to understand these differences by using not just an account-based pension, but also layering in other types of income streams like guaranteed lifetime income streams, investment-linked type growth products. We can ensure that we can generate more income and that it's sustainable for life. So that's part of the key. But I think the first thing is just making sure that we think about moving our assets from accumulation phase into pension phase in the first place, because a lot of people in Australia don't realise that doesn't happen automatically. They have to make a choice to do that.
Yeah.
But when you move all of your assets into the pension phase of your superannuation fund, for example, you're moving into a tax-free investment environment. It's so powerful.
But that's when you get to retirement. If you're waiting to get to 630, I think you said for a single, and
Yes.
730. 730 for a couple. Gosh, that's unfair for a single tax, isn't it? Only 100,000 less. What do you need to be doing, say, in your 40s, in your 30s to get to that?
We need to be saving as much as possible. So utilising all the strategies available to us, and depending on what our income is, if our income tax is more than 15% on average, then we should be doing that in the superannuation environment where your maximum tax is 15%. So the power of compounding, I know we go on and on and on about it sort of in financial services, but it's so important. The longer you can get those contributions in there, even if you're salary sacrificing a few thousand a week, the more opportunities you're going to have down the track. And then there's utilising strategies like recontributing to super, so pulling some out and putting back in, making contributions for your spouse, evening up balances. There's lots of other things we can do in the lead up. Even downsize a contribution. So even if you've stopped working and you don't have that salary and wages money to contribute to super, there's an opportunity to get money in. If you sell your home, for example, and you're buying another one, you're not subject to the same contribution limits.
If someone is not meeting the threshold each year, is that your number one sort of tip as well, to top that up, whether that's through salary sacrifice, or I've heard someone else say sell shares and use that capital gains tax to push into super?
Yeah, you can get a tax deductible contribution to offset the capital gain on the sale of an asset outside of superannuation, assuming that you're not already putting in your maximum
amount of superannuation guarantee, or your employer isn't. So there's some great strategies there that are both tax effective but building that wealth, so that when you do get closer to retirement, you can then make some choices, like, do you want to put some money into a future income stream, for example, where you're still growing your money, but what you're doing is securing a future income rate that will be higher than what you might be able to get on market by the time you retire. So it just gives you lots more choice and opportunity to secure these products and a variety of solutions that will really provide a much less volatile income in retirement that can last the distance.
Well, speaking of volatility, what happens if the market crashes?
It's a very common question, isn't it? So there is a risk. If all of your money in retirement is sitting in market-linked assets, then obviously that's a risk. And you don't, once you get to retirement, you don't really have a lot of recovery time, and you're not generating salary and wages to replace the money. You're having to draw down and live on your assets. So securing potentially some downside protection on some of your investments, and you can do that in the income stream or before then. Putting in this layer of guaranteed income where the income will keep getting paid. You know, it doesn't matter if it's like planting a seed for a future crop that just, the tree crops year after year after year. There's no droughts, there's no floods, there's just a crop that keeps coming year after year. So even if the rest of your portfolio is experiencing a drought, you've got this reliable income.
And I guess the other factor is, if you die, what happens there? Is super guaranteed? Does it go to your next of kin, or what happens there?
There's a choice. So nearly all of these income streams, whether they're account-based pensions, guaranteed lifetime annuities, market-linked lifetime income streams, they all offer the opportunity to for your spouse or your dependents to take a lump sum if there's any remaining balance, or to continue the income stream to your spouse and sometimes to your child, depending if they're a dependent. So I think those years where people were nervous that if they committed some of their money to a lifetime annuity, they were giving up access to all their capital. Those years are long gone. So there's now the opportunity to utilise these, these products that have flexible access. You can make partial and full withdrawals if you get sick and you need that money, or if you need to leave money to your family. We can actually generate a lot more for the estate by layering up these income products.